Welcome to Sunshine Cathedral's Queer God Squad. It's Thursday, February 26th, 2026. I am Bishop Darrell Watkins, the senior minister of the Sunshine Cathedral. With me today are Bishop Robert Griffin, my husband, Reverend Dr. Ann Atwell, and Reverend Kevin Tisdall. We are the Queer God Squad. Visit sunshinecathedral.org to learn more about us.
Queer God Squad was created by Hotspots Happening Out to support our mission to explore the value of faith in the LGBTQ community. There is no streaming TV show like this in the entire world.
In 2026, we are celebrating the 41st anniversary of Hotspots magazine, with Queer News Tonight sharing over 11,000 stories and 11 million views so far.
We are the largest nonprofit LGBTQ media organization in America, and we encourage you to support our mission to inform, entertain, and educate our community and allies. We are proud to announce that Hotspots Happening Out is a beneficiary of the Florida AIDS Walk. Funds raised will be matched dollar for dollar in support of Hotspots Happening Out HIV policy, reform, and educational programs, including the MSM Conference. We invite you to join Team Sunshine Cathedral in this initiative. Join us on March 21st to walk in support of the HIV community and along with the Sunshine Cathedral team.
This is the Sunshine Cathedral perspective. Mike Johnson's Pope Leo I comparison gets a theology side-eye. Speaker Mike Johnson's getting flashed back to the 5th century. He's comparing himself to Pope Leo I, who wrote the Tome of Leo, a major theological document. Johnson claims he's being unfairly attacked for speaking out on issues like same-sex marriage and abortion, likening it to the backlash Pope Leo faced. The comparison's getting mixed reactions. Some are like, Speaker Johnson, you're not exactly defending orthodoxy like Pope Leo was, and that was a quote. Pope Leo's tome was about affirming Christ's dual nature, a major theological issue back then. Johnson's references are sparking debate about his understanding of history and theology. Johnson is Catholic and a prominent voice in archconservative politics. This comparison might be him trying to show he's standing strong for his faith. But critics say it's a weird flex, and historians are calling it a stretch. You think? Yeah, I think. So I had to go back and look a little bit at Pope Leo I. Leo the Great. He met with Attila the Hun. He was able to turn Attila the Hun away from Rome. Attila was ravaging Italy, and the Pope met with him and said, yo, dude, yo, you gotta chill. This is not the way to go. I can't see Johnson meeting with anyone and being able to convince them of anything.
He can be pretty tender with some sofas.
Well, you're bad. I thought that was Vance, though. But no, seriously, when you listen to Johnson, he often takes a Bible quote and cherry picks that quote to make it fit to whatever he wants to talk about at the moment. I listen to people who do that, and I ask them, please look at the verse before, look at the verse after, and then put it in context. That's something that I don't think that Speaker Johnson can do. If it doesn't fit his bill, he's not going to do anything positive with any conversation. And if he listened to the current Pope Leo, I think that he might find a completely different response to issues like abortion, to issues like LGBTQ rights. It amazes me that a guy like Johnson can monitor his son's internet usage and share with his son his internet usage to ensure that they don't go to the porn sites. If that's the most important thing that he's doing, then he ain't no Pope Leo I.
Right. Honestly, because the Pope, what was flashing through my mind was the several times that the Pope and several bishops have chastised the administration, sometimes not exactly directly, but sometimes yes. And so I actually just saw the Pope scolding the vice president, and that's where the sofa came in. I forgot for a second we were talking about another hateful
There's so many.
Catholic in charge of something.
There's so many.
So that's where my little slip up came from. But the speaker is from Louisiana. He ran on very ugly things, and he's from a district that would support that.
Yeah.
I never really heard of him until he was speaker. But he has been very mean to the one transgender member of Congress. He has said horrible things about the LGBTQ plus community. He's not a friend of liberty for all. He's not a friend of anti-discrimination, and he doesn't care that his opinion. Oh, I'm being tormented because of my views. I know your arguments, your opinions are not issues.
Right.
They're people's lives, and you can think It costs me nothing, it costs you nothing to think that I am scum beneath your feet. But the minute you legislate it, the minute that I'm treated differently than any other citizen, now we have an issue. You can, not only can you think horrible things about me, you can tell people you think that. And still, I can go to any bathroom, I can vote in every election, my kid can talk about me in school, if things are truly fair and just. And so, it's not about his religion, it's about his hate. Although he does worship hate, so maybe it is about his religion.
Yeah, how about that?
No, this isn't, you aren't being persecuted because you're the world's great theologian and no one can handle you. You're being persecuted because you're a persecutor and people push back.
Yeah.
No, I don't ever see any of these guys taking what they learn in Sunday school or CCD or any other form of parochial teaching and really applying it to what they're living out today. I mean, I think if they just did that, we would probably see something different, but they're not doing what they were even taught as kids, That's the thing. So you're trying to invoke religion, you're trying to invoke your upbringing into something that really makes you look a fool. This is clearly one of those times where you stay in your lane, and certainly you're not on the philosophy side. You don't have a theological degree, and you're trying to equate something to prove a point that everyone looks at, huh?
Yeah.
And that just doesn't make sense to me. So. I think that when I think about Mac Johnson and all the other guys, go back to the nuns, bring out the rulers, and get your fingers cracked somewhere, or have something done to you that will knock some sense into your head to realize you're there for all the people, not just some of the people, and be reminded that what you're doing is that you're affecting future generations that's now got to work to undo what you're doing, and may that generation do it better than you've ever done it.
Yeah, Mike Johnson being persecuted for his beliefs.
Please.
Attention-seeking behavior.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Seeking behavior. Nobody's paying attention to me. Let me cry foul. Let me say, I'm just being persecuted for my beliefs. Attention-seeking behavior, honey. There's help for that.
And remember that this guy comes from a nowhere district in Louisiana, was never expected to be in any kind of leadership role. He was the lowest of lowest, let's find somebody who is malleable and who will do the bidding of the administration. And that's why he's there. That's the only reason that he's the speaker. And he can't even keep that scant majority from going after him. There are things that have happened in this House of Representatives that have never happened to any speaker before now. So understand that he is one of the weakest speakers we've ever had. And as soon as Jeffries is put in 27, he can start cleaning that crap up.
And here's the really frightening part. If Connell and Vance are on the same dais that is on top of a sinkhole that opens up, Johnson becomes president.
Yep.
That's a no-win situation.
No, it really isn't.
And there's that.
And that's today with the Queer Gospel. And before we go, we want you to remember the Cathedral Pub. The Sunshine Cathedral Center for the Performing Arts offers the Cathedral Pub experience. The Cathedral Pub offers performance attendees an inviting space to gather and connect with friends prior to the show, or a place to be while waiting for the doors to open. Guests enjoy live music, beverages, and appetizers in a comfortable meet and greet environment while they await the start of their performance. On show nights, the Cathedral Pub opens an hour before each performance and closes 15 minutes before it starts. Entry to the Cathedral Pub requires a separate purchase from your ticket seat. You've got to cover your ticket seat, but then for the pub, you also have to have a pub ticket. And the link for those pub tickets can be found on the seat selection page. Be sure to purchase before checking out. There's a limited number of people who can get pub passes, so don't delay.
Thank you for joining the Queer God Squad today. We are here daily at 3 p.m. to have some fun and to discuss what our LGBTQ community is talking about. Please like and share this and other episodes of the Queer God Squad.
Sunshine Cathedral is the world's leading progressive queer church. Progressive, queer, and God. are words that naturally should go together. Remember that we are all in this together. Also remember, you are God's miracle, not God's mistake. Until next time, we are the Queer God Squad.